Honeybees have been on this planet long before the primates arrived. Their role as the pollinators has been helping us grow and sustain our agricultural produce from the primitive era. Agriculture underpins the development of the human civilizations. As many as 30% of all agricultural crops over the world is directly dependent on the honeybees foraging for cross-pollinations. This indispensable serving has made human beings initiate beekeeping. An 8,000-year-old cave painting proves the beekeeping practices in ancient Egypt. Later, this turned into what we see today as the commercial beekeeping industry. But like many other trades, this has remained a discipline devoid of knowledge and research, especially in our country. In other states, and ours too, beekeeping is still a practice lacking scientific studies. The Vivekananda Institute of Biotechnology, a scientific and technological wing of Sri Ramakrishna Ashram of Nimpet, has initiated documenting beekeeping practices with a view to promoting an organized discipline. The project has been funded by the Jamsetji Tata Trust. On behalf of the Vivekananda Institute of Biotechnology, popularly known as VIB, we captured the visuals of commercial beekeeping in many apiaries. Following the seasonal flowering plants, we started our shooting in apiaries beside the national highways near Baharampur and shot at different places in Nodia, South 24 Parganas and at the VIB premises. In this series of films, we shall be seeing the honeybees, their castes, species, apiaries, the varroa infestations, swarming, honey extraction and migration of apiaries. We also interviewed some of the experts who have enriched our knowledge base by sharing their valuable experience. The fast dwindling bee population is of grave concern today, as it might jeopardize the future of the food crops that survive on cross-pollinations. So, the more the apiaries, the greater the chances of cross-pollinations, and safer is the future of our agriculture. An apiary consists of a number of bee boxes that have colonies inside. And it is the inside of the bee box which is the habitat of bee population. We shall see the bee box and its construction in a separate film with greater detail. A colony has one queen, hundreds of drones, and several thousand worker bees. In this three-dimensional simulation, we can see three castes. These are of Apis mellifera. This is a drone. This is the queen. And this is a worker. The drone in any species is hairy and bulky, while the queen is slightly elongated in shape. The worker bees are the smallest in size. The drone can't sting, as it does not have any sting. The queen and the worker bees have stings. The worker bees use their stings when they feel threatened and die within a couple of hours after stinging. This happens as the sting is an extended part of their alimentary system and gets severed during the very act of stinging. After stinging, the worker bee releases pheromone and rushes towards the colony. It is this released pheromone that alerts his fellow worker bees about the possible presence of enemies. Interestingly, a queen bee stings another queen bee only. Apis mellifera is the most popular choice of the beekeeper all over the world due to its relatively calm nature and good collection of honey. The commercial beekeeping industry in the continents of Europe and America only uses Apis mellifera. This is VIB's own apiary. Here we see the Apis serena. Although Apis serena is rarely used for the commercial beekeeping, VIB has been using this species to make the students familiarize themselves with this native variety. Apis serena is indigenous to South Asia. They collect a good amount of honey, although this is less in quantity compared to collection by Apis mellifera. It is largely their violent nature that has resulted in their elimination as the agent in beekeeping, even in countries like ours. Apis serena is, however, less vulnerable to the varroa infestation. This is Fulia in the district of Nadia. Here we chance to see the rarely found Apis dorsata and Apis florea. This is the house of the Sarkars. This colony of Apis dorsata gave us an uncommon visual, mostly seen in the thick mangrove forests of the Sundarbans. Known as the giant honey bee, this species could not be domesticated for its wild nature and aggression. Dorsata colony could give the greatest amount of honey in a single harvest. This is Apis florea. Found in the branches, this species is rarest among all we have seen so far. It is small in size and its collection of honey is minimal. We had the opportunity to shoot another variety of the honeybees in VIB's own apiary. This is called Trigona species. This species is extremely small and do not have a sting. But the species which are not used in commercial beekeeping industry too have great impact in the cross-pollinations and agriculture. In the next film, we shall see the bee box.